Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gav Major and this is WoWs Weekly. WoWs Weekly is the weekly news video in which I cover the news of World of Warships Legends, the week past and the week coming up, and also a place where I do some speculations and channel admin. Now this WoWs Weekly is probably going to be a little bit longer than the previous couple, just because there's so much going on this patch, so I will hopefully not keep you for too long and we'll just try and cover most of the important stuff. Starting off, let's start off with the point that we raised last WoWs Weekly, where we were talking about how the damage to turrets was being distributed to the hull. That has now been fixed if you have missed that notification. This has now been returned to what Wargaming say is normal. What they mean by this is when there's a full penetration hit of a turret, then the damage by the shell will be to the turret's HP, and if it's sufficient enough, then the turret will be disabled or actually destroyed. Now, when there's an over-penetrating hit of the turret, then 10% of the shell's alpha damage will be sent to the ship's hull HP, so therefore distributing the damage to the ship's hull, which is fair enough. Now, it's good to see that they've managed to actually get this sorted reasonably quick, I guess you could say. I mean, probably about 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, to identify a problem, try and find out the problem, try and patch the problem, they moved quite rapidly, especially in context of like compared to like say some other game development teams. So I can't really fault them. At least they've like dealt with the problem. I think this is obviously in contrast to maybe some of the issues which happen on World of Warships PC. So, I guess the obvious one is this patch we are now got access to the alternative United States battleships. They are now fully released. So that's Nevada, Tennessee, North Carolina, and also for the first time that we can actually get our hands on it, it's the Kansas. Feel free to now crack on with researching the ships and playing these ships. The reviews are literally rolling out, and the Kansas will be coming out tomorrow. Now at the moment, I haven't seen many Kansases. I've seen quite a few North Carolinas and all the others. It's all there. It's all free for you to crack on with, I guess you could say. Now, I guess maybe a slightly big bit of news, I'm not quite sure, but Archipelago Blue Steel collaboration has dropped right away. They're not holding up on this one. It is coming thick and fast. Now, this is all... You can either buy bundles within the store, which will come with a commander, or the commander in the ship, or the commander in camo, or you can buy the crates, and the crates literally just have chances of getting the camos, the ships, the commanders, and a couple of other things like that. Now, it's worth noting with the crates that it does not re-roll commanders. What I mean by that is, for example, the standard commander crate and these, for example, previously in the Azure Lane commander crates, the crates will, if you already own a commander and you don't own another commander, the crate will re-roll to always guarantee you get a new commander until you have all of the commanders. So that's what I mean by the re-roll. In this case of the Archipelago Blue Steel collaboration, the crates do not re-roll the commanders. So in this case, if out of the 5 commanders, in your first crate you got one of the commanders, in your second crate you still have a chance of getting that same commander there, which will be counted as a duplicate, and you'll receive a personal accommodation for that commander instead. So there's a bit of a downside. So it means if you are looking to try and pick up all of these commanders, I'm not sure which way is better, whether it's just to buy a commander pack and just get them all, or to chance your arm at crates. I kind of feel like if you know what you want, it's probably best to just go get it, rather than rolling crates. I mean, rolling the crates doesn't guarantee you're going to get them, and you might just end up with a load of other stuff that you might not want. Talking about stuff that you might not want, there's 2 premium ships with the Archipelago Blue Steel. These are Congo class battleships, but they're premium, so they will earn slightly more credits, but that's about it. Furthermore, they have slightly worse main battery armament. However, the Kirishima does have an improved AA suite, but it's a tier 4 battleship, so that really doesn't count for much. Furthermore, the Haruna does have an improved secondary battery. By that I mean it's just a little bit slightly longer ranged. The Congo's a tier 4 Japanese battle cruiser. Only if you like the Congo would I say, yeah, maybe get yourself a premium Congo, but other than that, there's not really much making these stand out. Obviously, also in the store is a new camouflage for the Otago, if you want to make your Otago look like a fluorescent piece of radiation. However, that's your personal choice, not mine. I'm just going to go into my customization filters and turn it off. So, going on to the anniversary of World of Warships Legends and its second anniversary of being officially released. First of all, you'd have to be blind to miss it, but in the store is basically an anniversary bundle which contains a patch and loads of other stuff. If you haven't logged into the game since Monday, it's worth noting, if you pop in the store, you're going to get a massive bundle to collect. Now, there will be a second bundle coming out, which will be available on August the 12th in the platform store, which is basically your console store. Now, this will be free to collect, and it will contain 2 days premium, 10 of the following types of camouflage: Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, and Hunter. Also, a free 37,000 Commander XP. So, that's fair enough. Just got to remember, on the August 12th, you've got to go check out the console store. Now, furthermore, there will be a Navy of the Realm bundle, which will be available from August the 3rd. Now, this will be free to those who have the Xbox Game Pass subscription and the PlayStation Plus subscription. Now, this will contain the German Tier 4 cruiser Königsberg. If you already own the Königsberg, then you're probably just going to get credits as compensation. You also get a permanent camouflage for the Königsberg. It's probably going to be a Type 1. Now, there is going to be the German Tier 3 Premium Destroyer, the G101. Now, the G101 was available for, I want to say, January 2020. She was available for, I think I'm going to like say Sakura coins or something like that during the Yamato test event. So she's come back now, and she's being given away for free if you have a subscription. Furthermore, along with this bundle, you get 2 common crates, 3 number commander crates, 35 common battle boosters, 35 rec battle boosters, 35 type 3 camouflages, and 35 type 4 camouflages. So lots of camouflages there. Now, also happening during this patch is going to be a couple of little buffs to your first win bonus. So from July the 30th until August the 2nd, the first win bonus will be increased from a 1.5 multiplier to a 3 times multiplier. Now, this will increase obviously the amount of ship XP that you earn in your first win in a ship. Now, the amount of Commander XP that you get is always based on the amount of ship XP you get. So actually, with this bonus, you will be able to actually farm quite a bit more Commander XP. So if you aren't going to try and farm Commander XP, first of all, you want to be playing premium ships, sticking the biggest ship XP booster on there, hoping that you get a win, and at the same time, you want to be sticking the biggest Commander XP booster on there, and that way you'll just be raking in Commander XP. And what you can do with Commander XP, well, you can always buy more Commanders, or buy yourself some universal accommodations while you're at it. Furthermore, between August the 12th and August the 16th, the first win bonus will be increased from 1.5 to 5 times. So again, you're going to be able to earn a lot more Commander XP. But also, during this time, the conversion rate of Elite XP to Global XP will be increased from 25 per doubloon to 35 per doubloon. So it means if you are thinking of getting the Paolo Emilio and you don't have the Global XP for it, and you're thinking, oh, I might just convert some of my Elite XP to Global XP using doubloons, wait until August the 12th and you're going to get the Paolo Emilio a little bit cheaper, which is fair enough. That's something that I'm going to be holding off for, I have to confess, although I'm still debating whether or not I will follow through and get the Paolo Emilio. I mean, she's a nice ship, but I have to always question myself, how much will I really play her? Now, obviously, we are now entering the Shock and Awe campaign, which is the campaign for the Zf6, which is the German-French destroyer, depending which way you want to try and cut that one. Now, what that does mean is obviously the campaign breakdown is now out. So obviously it's 100 milestones over 5 weeks. They're saying this is the kind of like a catch-up mechanic, which basically means that you can, if you miss a week later on, you can actually still have access to that week, and it just means you basically is what they're calling the catch-up mechanic. Now, the endurance trials will utilize tier 3 to 7 ships and legendary tier ships, and they can be completed in standard and AI battles, whereas the shakedown trials will be tier 4 to 7 ships and legendary tier ships, and I think they can only be completed in standard battles. Now, there is a separate heroic effort mission cards which will enable you to complete the campaign about a week early if you manage to get them all completed. And yeah, so obviously at the end it continues into endless trials. Now, what you're looking for at endurance trials, you're looking at in the first week it's win 5 battles, 12,000 base XP, 5 million credits. And obviously that's before you start taking into consideration the ship service costs and other things. And I think it also that will allow you to include boosters. So if you're trying to boost, you can actually use booster flags to actually help your way through it. Shakedown trials deal 2 million damage to enemy ships and start 15 floods. I mean, it seems all pretty standard stuff, really. I mean, I'm not seeing anything excessive. 40,000 ship XP, endurance trial 2, week 2. That doesn't look too bad. 8,500 global XP. I mean, ironically, like the first week, I managed to complete it quite quickly. I think I completed most of it during the live stream. Shakedown trials 2 of week 2 is get 30 citadels on enemy ship, but that's you got a good while to do that. It's just getting a good number of citadel hits. Probably want to maybe play like cruisers, maybe lower tier cruisers, because then lower tier cruisers are easier to actually citadel. There's always a little trick. Also, tier 4, I think you can play the Farragut for your citadels, which is good news, I guess you could say. Because that's how people used to do it back in the day. It's all about just knowing which ships and which tier is always the best to do it at. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything crazy, I guess you could say. Now, when it comes to the heroic effort, we've got in one battle earn 3,250 base XP. Basically just have a very, very good game. There's also earn a Kraken Unleashed medal, which basically just get 5 kills in the game. And in one battle deal 210,000 damage to enemy ships, and heroic effort 4 is set 23 fires. Now, I know that some people have said that maybe endurance trials and shakedown trials are getting harder, but I remember back in the day when heroic effort used to be the shakedown trials and you had to complete them to actually get the ship. So I remember when getting 200,000 damage was actually a weekly mission in shakedown trials to complete, which was nigh on impossible for very early players like myself. So this is why some people say they have an issue with it, and I go, well, it used to be worse back in the day. I've just got a notification. That's alright, we'll come back to that actually. I do want to talk about that. Now, obviously, at the end of the campaign, or not at the end of the campaign, but once you complete your campaign and get your Zf6, which is obviously locked behind narrative backing, which is 2,500 boons, you will go into Endless Trials. Endless Trials is obviously where the campaign kind of continues up until the end of the patch, where you can earn steel. Each milestone is 25 renowned, and each milestone will award you 5 steel. So you just got daily trials, which is based on how much XP you earn. So basically, it just gets you to play throughout the day, which is play a bit every day, I guess you could say. It's also the weekly trials, and again, that is based on the amount of XP, Commander XP, credits, Global XP, and base XP, and it's. Yeah, no, that seems to be fair. Now, with the campaign, you will need to accumulate 2,475 renowned in order to complete it. Based on just the weekly Havoc, there is 2,500 renowned up for grabs, I should say, and if you include the heroic effort, there's 3,000 renowned up for grabs. So there's an additional 525 renowned in that campaign in order to get the Zf6. So that's also a nice one. They give you a bit of overspill, whereas I've seen it before where like the amount of wiggle room was only like 25 renowned in the past. So now for the breakdown of the legendary birthday 21 bureau project, which has come to the bureau. As this obviously requires you to obviously log in every day to keep it ticking over, because once you log off it only continues for a maximum of 24 hours, and also requires you to assign ships to the fleet, the daily trials, and also commanders to the Patreons. Now this consists of 10 segments. Each segment is 5 stages long. The total amount of points required to complete this is 36 million. Now it's important to know that the legendary birthday project will only be available until the end of this update to start. Once you start it, it's then in your account permanently to progress, but until you start it, there's a potential for it to go away. So if you don't start this project before the end of this patch, you will miss out on it. Now, going through the breakdown, you can assign 2 ships to the fleet, 1 commander to the Patreon, and 2 to the daily trials. Now, when it comes to the commanders, they have to be a minimum of rank 7, so the rank does not go up as it goes along. Regarding the fleet, you'll be earning 4 points per second for a tech 3 ship and 5 points for a premium ship, so you will earn more for assigning premium ships to it, but obviously you have to own those premium ships. Maximum tick rate varies between 16 points per second and 18 points per second, depending whether the segment allows you to assign 2 premium ships to the fleet. Breakthrough, it's not limited per stage. Maximum boost per segment is 1,500 doubloons. Doubloons, 1 doubloon will count as 1,000 points, and the maximum boost is allowed is 1.5 million per segment. So that's 15 million out of the 36 million, I guess you could say. Now, estimated completion dates for the minimum tick rate, so that's basically not assigning anything, just literally sitting on it. You're looking at a total of 4 days and 4 hours per stage, so that's 20 days and 20 hours per segment. So for the total project, you're looking at 208 days and 8 hours. So if you literally just log in every day and that's it, without assigning any commanders or any ships or doing any daily trials, it's going to take a long time. Now, obviously, the maximum tick rate with the patrons, the tech tree fleet, and the trials, but not premium ships, is 22 days and 18 hours for the full project. So that's 2 days, 7 hours per segment, 10 hours per stage. If you have a premium fleet, you can reduce this to 19 days and 10 hours for the project. 1 day, 23 hours for a segment, 9 hours per stage. So obviously, having premium ships is going to help it tick over quicker. Regarding the rewards, they're up for grabs throughout the entire project. Are 7 Regiment Marina containers, 7 Royal Navy containers, and 7 United States Navy containers, I should say. There's also 1 Golden Week, 1 Stellar container, 1 Super Saturday 2021, 3 Summer big containers, 1 Black Friday container from 2020, 2 Halloween containers from 2020, then 2 Regiment Marina camouflages, 3 Rust Bucket camouflages, 3 Shadow camouflages, 3 Santa 21 camouflages, 2 Union Jack, 3 Sci-Fi, 8 Anniversary, 3 Red, White and Blue camouflages, along with 5,000 Global XP, 30,000 Commander XP, 450,000 credits, and 2 Insignia. So there's not really any big show items, and any of the big show items are more like a random chances of getting something nice. But at the end of the day, it's something for nothing, and at the moment with the lack of an introduction of a legendary tier ship, if you have the spare slot or have a slot available, it might be worth at least starting this for now. Regarding the Patreon breakdown, obviously they have to be rank 7 and above. And the commanders, it looks like pretty much all the commanders are up for grabs. It does vary. There's even some actual event commanders, so it's worth noting segment 6. The commanders are Space Fishy, Shelley Beeple, and John L. Pickup, so they're all event commanders. But there's also Nikolai Konetsov, so for segment 6 you're definitely going to need Konetsov if you don't have any of those event commanders, so that's worth just noting there. Apart from that, every other stage has at least 3 commanders which are already in the game. They're not like tied to events or anything like that. So for most people, as long as you got them up to rank 7, you should be all right. Actually, it's worth mentioning segment 2. This will require. It requires Splendento, Murdoch, Furion. Those were the Halloween commanders. So if you don't have those, you will need to have Willis Lee rank up to level 7 as well. I think that's it. Yep, double check. It's all fine. It's all fine. Regarding the ships that you need, premium. Starting off with the tech tree, you're going to need the Trento, the Zara, the Guardia, the Ganevi, the Hatsuharu, the Aoba, the Queen Elizabeth, the Leander, Langley, Hosho, Pensacola, Lagazner, Rugio, Ranger, New Mexico, Fuso, Tennessee, North Carolina, Congo, and Vaquilin. In regards to the premium ships, if you have them, you can use them. If you don't, it's probably not really worth buying them. You're only getting a little bit of a better tick rate, so I wouldn't buy a premium ship just because of the Bureau project. But if you have them, the ships you will need are Roma, London, Benham, West Virginia, Azuma, Matsu, Matsu B, Shimakaze, Massachusetts, Scharnhorst, Siegfried, Sims, Okachov, Duke Oster, Suzuki, Ashashio, Champagan, Z35, Georgia, Indianapolis, Zf6, and Otago. Obviously, the Zf6 is right down on there, segment 10. So that's the breakdown of the Bureau. Now, obviously, Ranked Season 14 is starting on July the 29th, which is tomorrow. Now, this is Tier 6 ships. There are no aircraft carriers and a maximum of 1 destroyer per team. The arms race mechanic will be active. Now, there's 7 ranks with no leagues. The team size is 5 to 7. Irrevocable ranks is all of them, so you can't go backwards from each rank. We don't know how many stars are per rank based on the infogram though. Divisions up to 2 players is allowed. Now regarding the arms race mechanic, it's just the same as what we had in Arena last time. So it's affecting the main gun reload speed, the consumable reload, the roller shift speed, and the HE regen. I'm not too keen on the HE regen. But let's wait and see how it goes. Now these are obviously stackable, so it starts off with just 1, and you can stack up to a maximum of 6. So for the gun reload, you start at 10, and you can max out 33% reduction. With the consumable reload, it starts at 10% reduction. You can maximize it to a 40% reduction. For the rotor shift, it's a 20% reduction. Like you can maximize that to a 60% reduction. And the HE regen starts at 0.2% of your HP and can be maximized to a 1.2% of your HP. So with ranked, I can see it being a bit. With the HE regen, I can see it being a bit horrible. With like, especially on some maps, maybe some teams might dip into the action and then retreat back and heal all their HP back up. Regarding the maps for these seasons, it is Trident, Neighbours and Haven. So that will be interesting to see. I think some of those maps are certainly new to this introduction of Ranked. Now, going over the other seasons, I'm only going to give it a very brief summary. But it's worth noting that Season 15 is Tier 7 ships, no aircraft carriers, a maximum of 2 destroyers per team. All ranks are irrevocable, and a division of a maximum of 2 players is allowed. Moving on to Season 16. Now, Season 16 is the slightly longer one, and this is the one where it's split down into 3 leagues, and obviously the ships vary. So for the first league, the third league, the lowest league is Tier 5 ships, the middle league is Tier 6 ships, the upper league is Tier 7 ships, the irrevocable ranks 11 to 9, 7, 4, 3, and 1. The team sizes will be 5 to 7 for League 3, 4 to 5 for League 2, and 3 to 4 for League 1. So the actual sizes of the teams get smaller as you go up the pyramid. Furthermore, no aircraft carriers and a maximum of 1 destroyer per team, and divisions of up to 2 players are allowed. So that's a little summary of each season. Each season of Ranked. Obviously, what we do is we'll revisit this and go into a bit more detail of each season of Ranked as we go along. Now, I think that is all of the big news. I guess it's worth mentioning that there will be an update stream and a developer Q&A, which will be happening on Friday the 30th, which will be happening at 3 p.m. UTC. So it was going to be interesting to see basically the development team's responses to the Q&A, which has been submitted on Discord. So it's going to be interesting to see what additional news we can get from that, and I will be going through that with a fine-tooth comb and probably covering it in next WoWs Weekly. Now this week has also seen a little bit of a bundle of redeem codes released on the social media of World of Warships Legends. If you have missed them, they will be all down in the description. But what we have is initially like an anniversary one, which the reward will be 12 hunter camouflages. Furthermore, we've had the Japanese Marine Day, which is giving you a flag, and so that's quite pretty, I guess you say. And also we have the Day of the Russian Navy, which is another flag. So if you're looking for certain flags, you can always pick up these pretty flags. I mean, the redeem codes, linked to the redeeming will also be down in the description next to each code if you wish to collect them. Well, that is all the news, and it is a lot of news. So I'm going to try and keep the next bit short and sweet, and that is the channel admin. Channel admin, yes, I've been doing quite a bit of videos this week. It's because obviously there's just a lot going on, and I want to get the American battleships over and done with, because I wouldn't say I haven't enjoyed them, but I haven't found them exciting either. They're just not my thing. At the end of the day, battleships aren't really my strongest suit, and then furthermore, slow battleships are really not my suit. I mean, I can't really fault the ships. At the end of the day, they do seem to be quite reasonable. I just can't get along with them, I guess you could say. Now, I am going to be trying to get ahead and get a Zf6 review recorded for next week, along with a Paolo Emilia review for next week. And of course, we're going to be doing the usual gameplay live stream on a Friday evening. I will try and make sure that I don't clash with the update stream and developer Q&A from the World of Warships community team. Well, that's everything that I have, and I hope I've been able to put up with this very long discussion and covering of the news. If you have, feel free to give it a thumbs up, that would be much obliged. If you are a subscriber, I'd say thank you very much, because most likely you are. But if you aren't a subscriber and you find yourself watching these, feel free to subscribe, and you can always click the bell for notifications, or I'm sure that's what YouTubers are supposed to say, aren't they? Anyway, until next time, I'm the Galloping Major, and back to the port.
Hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the Galloping Major. Get out of the way there, you fellows, unless you want me to run you down. I guess this is the life. Now, hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the Galloping Major.